Sal Blue here. I'm at my 9 to 5, but in the morning, man, I like to go for a walk. Little stretch now, get the blood flowing. Not a heavy cardio, just 30 minutes of movement. So I try to put in 30 minutes of movement every day, and it really has nothing to do with anything other than I want to create that habit of always moving, never stop moving. I had an 82-year-old lady tell me a couple of years back that her secret to flexibility and longevity was she just didn't stop moving. And she explained to me how her husband, on the other hand, just sat around, couch potato, and he ended up being in a walker and then eventually in a wheelchair and her pushing him around. And she's 82 and she's still moving, still driving, still shopping, doing all type of awesome stuff with her life. And he's bound to a wheelchair, the couch, and the bed. And hey, that's a shitty way to be living. You know, when you get up there, you want to continue to enjoy life until the end. I think that's what it's all about, enjoying life till the end. But if you are confined to a wheelchair, a bed, you know what I mean, the couch, that's not cool. It's not a fun way to be. So you got your health, and that's the only thing that is very difficult to get back when you lose it. So you got to stay on top of it, man. Regular checkups, but most importantly, having a habit of day is so important every day in my 9 to 5. Whether it's hot, whether it's cold, no matter what the weather is. I mean, today, it is absolutely gorgeous out here. Partly cloudy, a nice breeze. It's almost like vacation type weather. So today it's more of an enjoyment moment than anything else. So I'm out here. I'm getting it in. When I walk, I'm walking alone today. My partner with me. But when I'm walking, a lot of reflection goes in. A lot of time to reflect, think about life, and how am I doing? Right? You always got to have your thumb on how are you doing in life. Always evaluating yourself, always paying attention. You can't let it get away from you, especially at a certain age, right? I'm creeping up on 60, and I got to make sure that I don't let life get away from me. These moments to capture, number one, okay? And also checking my mindset and my attitude, right? Am I settling? Am I giving up? Am I quitting on life? What things are you quitting on, right? You get a lot of people out there, they quit at their job, right? They've been trying to push for promotions and do better, or even to get out of their job and start a business, and just they let life beat them down and they just weren't consistent, so they quit. They gave up, You got people in relationships and marriages. I just heard a statistic that 76% of marriages fail, right? And the reason why they fail is not because being married is something bad. It's that people quit. It's that people quit. People give up. They get exhausted. They give in, you know. But one of the things that I was thinking when I was walking was how many people hold on to hurt, right? Hold on to anger, hold on to resentment over the years. Not like days, weeks, months. Over the years, people hang on to resentment and hurt. You know, I I'm gonna just use myself as an example in life because that's what I like to do, man. I like to just put myself out there and let you guys know the vulnerability of what's happening is that I have gotten into arguments, disagreements with my significant other, my wife, and she has brought up things that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago that are still bothering her. And literally, she says, "Oh, I keep that in the back of my head." And my point being is why? Why do you keep it in the back of your head? So you can win an argument? That makes absolutely no sense, right? That is extremely, extremely uh, disruptive to your happiness. And I'm not a psychologist, but I know that when I hold on to stuff longer than a week, it disrupts my happiness. Let alone holding on to something in the back of your head for 20 years to bring it up again. So that is to me that's unhealthy, right? It's unhealthy to be like that. It's unhealthy to live like that. And I try to tell people, you got to let things go. When it's time to let them go, just let them go. Right? Let things go, move on, do whatever you got to do. But don't keep stuff in the back of your head. Don't keep stuff in the bottom of your heart that stops you from growing. That stops you from being the best version of yourself, man. When you stop being the best version of yourself, it's usually because you're living in the past, man. You can't let go of the past. I've been there, right? And it's not that I've been there as far as letting go of the past of things that have happened to me, relationship wise. No, it's my past failures, right? When I failed at something, I think that I'm not good at it. So I'm afraid to attempt it, afraid to put myself out there again, afraid to go for it again, right? And so that is what holding on to things do to you. It stops you from living in the moment. It stops you from living your current life. And if you're not living your current life, then you're not living at all, man. You're not living at all. So you gotta move forward. You gotta let go. You gotta start thinking to yourself, hey, yesterday is over with me. What can I do with this next 24 hours? Right? If you start planning your life like that, what can you do for the next 24 hours? At least you'll be closer to the moment, right? I mean, my idea is to ask yourself, what can I do right now? What can I do right now? What little thing can I do right now to make improvements to my life? Can I get out there and walk for a little bit? Right? Can I get out there and walk? Can I say thank you to somebody? Can I give somebody a smile? Could I tell somebody I'm sorry? Right? I mean, what can you do to improve your life right now? And you got to always be thinking about that, right? But not only just your life, right, guys? When you make improvements to your life, I think that we're all one consciousness, right? You know how you have an idea, and later on you see somebody that had that same idea. You're like, oh my God, I thought of that. How the hell did they think of the same thing? And the reason is because I think we're all one consciousness. But just because of that, I think that saying I'm sorry, saying thank you, giving yourself a smile, are all giving other people smiles, are all attributes to one whole consciousness, to taking care of each other, to taking care of the whole. So when you're thinking of things that you need to do to improve yourself, begin to think of things that you can do that improves everything around you, right? To yourself, the world, everything. I think that is key to having a better life, right? When you begin to do things that make other people feel good and you feel good in the process because you did it. I think that's going full circle. I don't know. What do you guys think, man? This is just me out here uh, talking about life, man. Talking about life, kicking it on my 9 to 5, getting my little morning walk in. This is like my little break. So take my break instead of sitting there and having a smoke or something like these other people do. So many people, when they get bored, they smoke, right? When they're home, they get bored, they drink and smoke. So I've been cutting back on. I've never smoked before, but I cut back on my drinking big time. I haven't had alcohol in a year for no reason other than just to prove everybody wrong. you know, I do that just about every year. So, um, just to show people that, hey, I can go this long. But this time around, it feels different. This time around, it feels like um, I feel like I'm doing it more for me, more for my health and longevity. And the more I do it, the better I feel about myself. Right? The better I bounce back and recover from different things that are going on in my life. You know, before, man, I would just be lost in an illusion. Because that's what it does to you. Substances, whether it's drinking, whether it's smoking, whether it's drugs, they just put you in a fog, in an illusion, right? And then you can no longer connect to life, to the world, to yourself, to your true version of you. So that is why I'm doing it, you know, because I got to clear my head and move to the next level, man. And I cannot move to the next level if I have a clouded mind, clouded judgment, living in an illusion. You know, I'm I got 6 weeks left on my cybersecurity course, and then it's the hard work, right? Then it's the hard work. The schoolwork is easy, man. Schoolwork is easy. I say that it's hard while I'm going through it, but the truth is, it's very easy, right? It's just a matter of studying, memorizing, and then regurgitating it in an exam. Once a month, once a month, another exam, a different section. Once a month, different exam. So the important thing is that the consistency, right? It's not the memorization, okay? It's not getting 100 every time. No, it is, right, making sure that you stay consistent. So even when in 6 weeks, when this is over, when schooling is over, I'm going to jump into something else, right? I'm going to jump into studying for my state certifications, right? And start doing that. And I think that doing that and being consistent and doing it every day to learn as much as possible so I can take those certification exams. I want to have all my exams in before the end of the year. So that's going to take some effort, obviously, on my part because class ends in August. Then I have September, October, November, right? And I want to be taking all the exams that I need to take in December. So I want to have a cumulative knowledge of everything that I need to move forward in December. So that come January, or maybe even in December, I start putting in for new jobs, right? Cybersecurity jobs. That's the rub. And at the same time that I'm doing that, I'll be definitely figuring out a couple of side hustles. I know one of the huge side hustles I want to do is my books. I want to sell my books. I want to get my books out there. So I want to do a lot more writing in the future, and a lot more distribution of my book, my content, and similar content. I think that that's important. So um, maybe I create some type of a group where we can all get out there and promote each other's books, our material. So I think that is cool. I'm definitely gonna once I get it really rolling, I'll do like affiliate programs and stuff like that for people to have incentives to sell my material. But anyway, that's it, man. I'm about to wrap up the rest of this walk, and I just want to hop on and talk to you guys today because, something. Believe it or not, having someone to talk to is awesome. It's awesome. It's just great, man. Having somebody to talk to, having somebody to relate to, having somebody just talk to real problems, real life. It helps you to get through any crisis. But you got to talk it out, man. You can't give up. You can't quit, man. You got to keep going. All right. This is Lieutenant Sal Blue on my 9 to 5, and I will talk to you guys next week, or I'll see you tonight on my podcast. All right, deuces.